Rap on Joseph.
Rap on Joseph.
So in conjunction with the S5 II, we're also testing out DZO lenses, especially the new one, the 1835. Really beautiful lenses, and I think this combination both with the S5 and these full frame lenses, cine lenses, based on their price points. That's the thing about the S5 II, is the price point is so phenomenal. You're getting an incredible camera for $2,000, and with these cine lenses, which are, I consider them budget. I know when you hear the price, you get 3 lenses for $10,000. I know some people are going to be like, that's not budget, but in the cine world, trust me, these are.
I don't know. I think because that one's unplugged. Testing. Is that coming out? Hello? Can you hear me, Jacob? Can you hear me? Barely. Go tell him to turn it up. Gabe, can you turn it up a bit? Testing. Okay. Let's see.
Test. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
Good. How are you? We're gonna go live here in just a minute. Once this goes up to the NAB. Okay. Oh, okay.
I didn't do it in person. I did.
Oh, yeah.
Just literally asked.
Hobie, can you hear us? Is that better? Is that better? Yeah. Okay. All right, everyone. We're going to do an interview here with Matt Frazer from Panasonic. We're going to talk about a new product that we just released, and it'll be a lot of fun. So let's see here. I think it was like late last year, but it started really rolling in January. All right, we're so excited to be here at the Condor Blue booth. My name is Brandon Peterson. I'm the Director of Product for Condor Blue. I'm here with my good friend Matt Frazer from Panasonic, and we're going to talk a little bit about what Panasonic's doing, and it's really exciting, as well as a product that we recently worked on a little bit together and submitted for an award here at NAB. Matt, tell people who don't know you, what's your role at Panasonic?
Yeah, so I work in business development for Panasonic, Brandon. So kind of a weird, nebulous thing. I basically do stuff that other people don't want to do or don't know how to do for Panasonic. That's kind of what I do. So, I'm trying to help businesses to, find features that we can develop that they can then use for their work. I help with like school curriculums, things like that. And then I work with companies like you to try to make those things a reality.
Well, we're definitely grateful for you. You're great at what you do, and you know the industry inside and out. I thought I had a beat on the industry, and then I look over, and Matt's got his ear to the ground, knows every pulse. So you're my guy.
You're being very nice. I don't think that's really true, but I appreciate it nonetheless. So.
Well, we definitely think that, and you've got a lot of exciting things happening at Panasonic lately. Tell us a little bit about your new cameras.
Yeah, so I think what really is exciting is that we've updated the autofocus system. So I don't know if you'd heard, but there was some rumors that our autofocus wasn't as good as our competition. I don't know if you'd heard that.
I try not to listen to rumors too much, but
yeah. So we incorporated what we call our phase hybrid autofocus system and a pair of new cameras. We have the S5 II, and then its bigger brother, the S5 IIX, and that's really helped to bring a lot of visibility from the creator community. People who are doing content for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, things like that. Whereas for production, which is where Condor really got their start, is on the production side of the world. Autofocus is not exactly a positive thing to have the camera. So on your side of the world, we were always very well received, but it was really on the creator community where we had big improvements.
Yeah, and it's been super well received. Looks like we're a little louder there now. But it's exciting to see the listening to the community. I think that's something that Panasonic's always been really known for is, hey, we may not be as big as some of the competition, but one thing we will do is honor our users. And as a Panasonic user, myself, I've definitely appreciated that and felt that. So thank you.
Well, I think it's easy for us to listen because we're not so worried about market segmentations and how do we protect one brand from another brand within our own, ethos of products. So when people are able to ask us, hey, we'd really want shutter angle in a camera, we don't have to go through our Rolodex of what camera is going to be affected if we do that, or if we add a waveform on our vector scope, and the things that we get asked for. So we're really able to be free to develop things that the community asks for because we don't have to worry about how it's going to affect some other division.
I've always wondered what the NBA case study is that got these businesses so scared about cannibalization of their own products. If anything, look to Apple. They're the first to kill off their own products every time, and it's worked out for them. They're only worth, $3 trillion? But,
yeah.
Small numbers here. And so I've never got it that, hey, shutter angle, for instance, somebody looking for a camera in a $2,000 price range isn't going to be, or somebody say looking for a camera in the $10,000 price range isn't all of a sudden going to have their mind changed just because one camera is $2,000. They're different customers altogether.
Yeah, I agree.
But people, they want these things, they need these things, and if you're willing to support them on the low end, when they come and have that budget later on, where are they going to go to? The people that they know, like, and trust. And so establishing that trust, I think, is key, and you guys are doing it. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, on the X, that's coming up here soon.
Right.
Really excited for that release. What's so special about that it can do that the S5 II can't?
Yeah, so the S5 II, it's a full-frame camera. It has the ability to do 6K video in what we call open gate, so you can do the full 3:2 aspect ratio. I always use that for anamorphic lenses. Today it's being used more for social media, so you can crop a vertical and a horizontal, and you don't have to shoot it twice, right? So we've incorporated a lot of those things. It has 4K 60. It's a great photo camera. It's all the stuff you'd expect, right? The X is a more cinema-focused, or has more of a video spin to it, because we've incorporated the features that cinematographers would really care about. One feature we've done is the ability to output raw video over HDMI. Now, the S5 II, you can pay $200 to unlock that. The X, it'll be included at no charge. And the X is $200 more than the S5 II.
Convenient.
So, yeah, if you want raw, just don't buy the S5 II. Just wait until June, get an X. But the other thing it does is it gives access to all intra-codecs, which really helps post-production workflow. So you can record internally all intra-codecs, or over the USB port, we've added some special Panasonic goodness that allows you to use external SSDs to record either any of our codecs, but then ProRes in 4K as well, or 5.8K.
Yeah.
So you can use an external SSD to record it. Now, the problem is, when we were looking at this whole SSD world, which, let's give credit. Blackmagic was really the first company to start to do this. I looked at them like, this is really clunky. I don't know that I want my media just hanging haphazardly off the side of the camera in some weird clamp that doesn't secure it. So that's kind of where you and I got into this, into the next product we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's interesting because I came a while ago, this is years ago, that I was shooting on the C200, and that was when they were making the CFast dongle to then these SSDs, and I just didn't get why people were making a sacrifice at the most critical point of the chain of getting the image to the medium. And so integrating this is critical, but there really hasn't been a good solution. And so you came to us and talked. You said, hey, we've got this great relationship with with SanDisk Professional, and they make this drive that's really unique. Tell us why that drive is so special and what makes it work well with Panasonic.
Yeah, so you're being very polite here. The truth is, I pitched a cockamamie idea of a solution that was going to be insanely difficult to do. And ultimately, when we realized I'm an idiot, we transitioned to something that was attainable. So we transitioned to a handle. The basic idea was that I think you guys had a vision of an NVMe, a raw NVMe, because they're cost effective, right?
Yeah.
And CF Express cards are really expensive. And so this whole concept of using like media that's packaged, we believe it's going to cost a lot of money. And SanDisk had developed this thing called the ProBlade system, and the ProBlade system was designed to be an open architecture where they could work with third parties. And when you look at the cost of the SanDisk ProBlade, you're like, well, it's really not any more expensive than what I'd pay for an SSD drive with a USB port.
Right.
But it's this form factor that's just perfect. It's a nice, narrow, long profile. It's almost the same width as an NVMe drive.
Right.
And when they talked to us about it last year at the NAB show, they showed it to us in confidence, right? And they showed us their transport. And I'm like, boy, this transport's cool, but man, it's big. If you could just make this smaller and make a grip out of this thing, we could sell a ton of these for like Blackmagic cameras. That was like the first thing that came to mind. I'm like, a lot of Blackmagic customers would love this thing. And obviously we knew what we were doing with the GH6, so when we were having our conversation, I said, you really should consider this SanDisk drive. I know the perspective and the perception. Please just talk to these guys.
Yep.
And when you talked to them, what'd you find out?
You know, we found that it's an interesting thing that no matter how big a company gets, there's always going to be a little bit of a blind spot. We all have them personally, and we have them as companies.
Right.
And they came to us and said, hey, you know, we need you guys to do this part. And we said, hey, we need you guys to do that part. So let's get together and do this. And so together we worked and we developed a lot of different versions of what this handle could look like. From the design side, one thing that I highly consider is, you know, I think about it because I'm a consumer of this same space, right? I do a lot of productions. We do a ton of productions here at Condor Blue. And I don't like this idea of there being just dozens and dozens of handle options that all relatively do the same thing. And so we wanted to make a handle that could be so flexible to work as either a top handle or a side handle.
Right. Because
users, they've got their setups, they've got their preferences, and we know that our users amongst any consumer category, they're particular. They want their setup their way, and we try and honor that as best as possible. And so our thought and intent with designing this handle was we need something slim and compact that honors the form factor of the ProBlade. It makes no sense to me to have a handle that does not perform well as a handle. That's like a massive pet peeve I have. And so when you had talked to us about it, I was like, you know what? I think we can do this, and it can be comfortable, and it can be versatile. And so I'm super happy with where we landed on it. And, you know, here we are. We submitted it for award. We got our fingers crossed. So.
Well, and from our perspective, the SanDisk ProBlade system, we had our eye on it, obviously, from last NAB, but we've run into a lot of trouble with SSDs because you have like the USB 3.0 protocol, you have the 3.2, and the 3.2 protocol, most of these companies, when they get a handshake with a 3.2 device, they immediately peg them for maximum power draw, which then creates this huge problem where they won't record reliably. And so, you know, people will hear certain, I'm not going to say names of brands, but, you know, there'll be like one drive from them that's an older one, it works perfectly fine, and then the new one doesn't work at all, and it's because they were designed to be used in a computer, and they're designed to pull current from a computer port, not from a camera, where we're really on the edge of how much power we have available to us. And SanDisk was one of the few companies that really allows their system to monitor power need, not just the data throughput, and adjust the power so that it works within the data throughput needs. Because our cameras are not sending the kind of data that your computer is. That's going to need that, you know, 20 gigabit throughput. We're, you know, under 2 gigabits of throughput, so it doesn't make sense to demand all that power. And so that's why we really like the SanDisk products. We appreciate them for their SSDs. And this product fits right within that design ethos. And then the fact that they were willing to just work with you guys to make the design work happen, I think it saves you a ton of time as a manufacturer to know that you have a partner who's already done the heavy lifting on the electronics side of it and has all of the CAD renderings, and it's just ready to go for you. So you can just push forward. It's not quite that simple on the board side of things, but at least on the integration side, it seems like it's a really smooth partnership.
Absolutely, you know, and it's a feat in and of itself to get two different brands who have two different paths and roadmaps to do anything together in any timeline. But the fact that I think conversations on this started late last year, early this year, And here we are 4 months later with a completed product that's, 60 days away from in-hands use of consumers. I think really something. So,
well, it's a testament to you guys, actually. I'm shocked at how quickly you were able to get this done. I think we were talking, like, I was sort of like dreaming maybe back like in October, November, and then it got to this point of, hey, I think a grip can really work, probably in like January, late December. And there's prototypes here now, and they work great. So it's awesome that you guys were able to get this done so quickly.
Well, thank you. We couldn't have done it without great support from partners like you, as well as SanDisk, and it's exciting to see something come together. We call it Christmas. We get it multiple times a year at Condor Blue. We're always actively designing products, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way whenever you get a new camera in. It's just got a whole new set of testing, new things to explore and work with the customers, and it's a fun process. It's quite addicting. So,
well, and one final thing, just so I work for Panasonic, but it's important to remember that Condor had in mind other camera brands too. So, I know there's already Blackmagic users out there. We'll get you to switch over with the autofocus. I promise. You'll come to us because of the autofocus. I promise. But for your Blackmagics, it's still going to be able to work with that product as well, which I think is, again, a testament to how forward-looking you guys were when you designed this. You weren't just thinking of this product, but you're thinking of the whole community and how it's going to work for everybody.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm excited to see. This is just the beginning of one of many things that we can do with this relationship, as well as future things. And so looking forward to it, and always appreciate what you do, Matt. And, we'll take any of your ideas anytime. Happy to collaborate.
I will try not to do so many stupid ones. I'll pitch them to you. You just tell me if I'm a moron, and we'll be good, all right? Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Guys, if you are here at NAB, we'd love to have you come by our booth. We've got a lot of fun activities, got an awesome scavenger hunt as well. So much exciting things happening. I believe last year we launched 77 new products at Condor Blue, and we talked about slowing down, but I don't see that happening, and things like the SSD handle are proof of that. So come by the booth, come by Panasonic's booth, and let's have some fun, and if not, join us online. We'll be doing a lot more of these live conversations, so look forward to seeing and hearing from you guys soon. Thanks.